Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Niger Commandos for Life. One of your hosts over here, Goke Taiwo, from C89 Command Secondary School, Lagos, Comlag, Tiger House. Thank you very much for joining us again. Please do subscribe, like our videos, and spread the word. Thank you. Hope you watched the previous premiere episode we published on July 18th. So we're going to keep continuing this and inviting a couple of our commandos from all different commands and military schools. So today we have two other guests, and I'll have my co-host introduce them. Ife, take over.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, this is Fela Palawa, C88, Command Secondary School, Lagos. Um, like Goke said, we try to make this a lot of fun. Please be free, be very discreet. We don't want to edit too much, but if we see some things that this is not live. The recording. I mean, we're recording now, but it's not like we're gonna present like we're gonna edit. So let's be very distinct in what we say and the names we call. If you want to shout out to people, feel free. If you have some bad experiences, kind of withhold the names. We want to hear those experiences though. And so it's not just about what you learned in command. It's how it's affecting you right now as an adult in your careers, in your personality, your character, how command has made you. So with much further ado, let's start with Ifedoni. Since Tolu is just joined us, so that you can have some time to relax, right? So Ifedoni, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ifedumi Isijola Olowe, right? C91 Dragon House. Pleased to meet you all.
Thank you.
Tolu?
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Toluwa Ogunfowora, but back then I used to be known as Tolu Banjuku. In my set, we had Tolu Banjuku and Tolu Bankole. We also had Tolu Banjuku and Bayo Banjuku. So it's either, I was sharing this with
Wow.
two sets of people. So probably if you don't remember me, you might remember Tolu Bankole or you might remember Bayo Banjuku. There was just something around their names and I was part of that.
Wow.
I live in the UK now, and I'm excited about this initiative. I'm wondering where we're going with this. I know it's.
What house were you? What house were you?
Oh,
Please let people know.
I joined in '84. I joined in Form 2, and I was in Tiger House. I think the Tiger House had just been newly formed then,
Right.
and it's in.
You.
Tolu, tell us
Funny
about your
enough, I don't
experience.
really have stories though, and do you know why?
Why?
Okay, RSM Jayoba
Mm-hmm.
was my father's student. My dad was a prof then.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got into, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to, sorry for that distraction. Sorry, I joined in a hurry. I didn't have time to put off my...
No problem.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. And my dad was a professor at that time. And I think RSM Jayoba was doing a course or program and my father was, so my father handed him over to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of shielded in every way. In every way. It's now thinking about it, I realized how much I missed because I wasn't really a part of naughty things because I was just like, RSM, if RSM should catch me, go and tell my dad. If RSM catches me in space,
So you didn't sneak out of dorm and all those things. You didn't go to
Because-
space. You didn't do space.
space,
You
okay? I
didn't-
would just pass by. I
Ah,
didn't go to space.
eh?
I'm telling you, I was not in
What?
space. That's
You
a
didn't
lot.
read that. You didn't read that in your. You didn't do anything like that.
Nothing. Because on one hand, I had RSM shielding me from bullying. No senior bullied me. Nobody looked for my trouble. I tried to look for
Wow.
trouble once or twice. I actually looked for trouble once or twice because there was a time I was in detention, but because I knew that RSM will go and tell my dad or RSM is shielding me. So I really, honestly, I was shielded now that I think about it. But
Wow.
in terms of how being in command has shaped me, I spent the early part of my career in banking. And by the time I got to a certain level where I had team under me, I realized that my personality was that of somebody who was task driven and who liked order and structure. And then I used to tell them that, maybe it's because I went to a military school. I just like things having structure. And every time I was running a branch, my branch manager used to say that her branch, because I was reporting directly to her, but she was busy around doing BA, business development activity. She used to say that her branch runs on autopilot. That was because I was just like, order and structure. But I realized with time, one needs to balance order and structure with relationship and chill, So command had that effect on my life, a lot of discipline, being focused, being is in the later part of my life. I'm like, so I kind of relaxed, but I was a very good girl, spacing.
No, I remember because me and you were both in Tiger House and United States. So I remember you from command, and also you are one of those petite girls. You, Tomi Akiemi, and a couple of other petite.
What do you remember about me?
You were quiet. You were cute. You were quiet.
I want to hear, man. What do you remember about Tolu? I want to hear this.
No. She was no. She's right about this. She was not a troublemaker like some other girls in Tiger House. She was very quiet. She was cute. She was one of the petite girls because she told me, and I'm trying to remember the other person. Huh? Yeah, Temitayo. Was she? No, she was in Octopus House.
Yeah, but those were my friends.
That was your crew. Okay. Yeah, so I remember you because whenever we had Tiger House in the group, I don't remember. She's half caste, Abi?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I remember you were quiet. You were actually quiet. You weren't making noise. I don't know if me and you were in the same class ever. I can't remember that.
I don't think so.
I don't think me and you were in the same class. But I remember we were classmates and you were in Tiger House. So whenever they did Tiger House stuff and Housemaster and Housemistress and we had to meet up somewhere, I used to always see. I remember those in Tiger House. The females in my set. So yeah, we were cool. We were talking, but not anything. And back then I was too shy to ask girls out really. But
Itayo. Itayo says that myself, Ayadibayo, Temitayo Lale, that we used to bully him. But I'm like, Temitayo, you're making this up. I could never bully anybody.
Really? Well, Itayo was small. Because me and Itayo came into command together. We both came in Form 2. I remember him. He was in Octopus House. I was in Tiger House.
He was in Octopus House.
So yeah, I remember because he was in the same dorm as my younger brother, Yisola. I think the first time. So that's why I used to see him. Then I used to see him after command in Unilag and stuff. Then now he's bigger. He has grown taller than we're all shorties back then. But
please, are we allowed to talk about crushes? Because
you can, you can. Go ahead.
So we had crushes, but it's not like we mentioned people.
Yes, now. Yes. Go ahead.
Wait now. It's going round. So now that I've talked about myself, it will now go to you and GT. Then you guys will now come back. You start with your crushes.
Why do we have to talk about crushes now? Hey, it's
not this round. It's not this round. So let's this introduction finish. Then as you guys are taking on, whoever is taking over now, add crush your own. Then you will now come back to me.
They're married now. Just along. I know some husbands come after me.
30 years ago.
Oh my God.
That's what led to spacing.
89 cent people come and be yabbing me. No.
Yes.
People are married though. I beg you.
All right.
I know.
It's because people.
Because
people have a lot of things to hide. If you
people are married.
Innocence.
Remember.
Okay, wait, how did you people end up in Space Ground?
Me, I never went to space. I was shooting. I was slacker.
Me too.
I never went to space. So I couldn't get to space. I don't get liver. Talk to woman. All my years in command, I had no liver to talk to. Never. I had no liver, man. I had crushes, no doubt, but I couldn't talk to them. I was just bolo. I couldn't.
DT,
you are one of my crushes.
Go away, it's not true.
You are, no, I'm serious. You are. No, but I've told her that before. I've actually told her, but I didn't have liver at that time. I was too shy.
All
I had
the
a
command
couple
people
too. I
that
had
tell
a
me they have
couple of
crushes on
crushes.
me,
I
as
had
far
a
as I'm
couple of
concerned, I think
crushes.
they're just
No,
yanking.
Busy Bars was one of my crushes now. Busy Bars was one
He
of my crushes.
was. I
I
still
couldn't
have
talk
that
to her.
our video. I still have our
Yeah,
video. The
man,
one with
that's sweet video. I love
teenagers.
that video, man.
I
Yeah, in
love it.
London.
Every time I want to laugh, I go to that video.
Yes.
And when I posted it on my Instagram page, it had a lot of likes.
Yeah, that video was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Funny
Yeah.
enough, I couldn't remember you.
I thought I was
Way
quiet.
back.
I couldn't. I didn't quiet. If I see five girls, I don't go fit talk. They don't bump me well.
The shake for there.
Eh?
You go just the shake for your mind.
I'll just a shift for my mind. Exactly.
Can I ask a question, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
It has to do with command, but not exactly. I have a teenage daughter, and I'm looking at this age that we were in command and how things were because I didn't have a boyfriend, I didn't have any of those things. Sometimes in trying to understand the stage in which my daughter is at the moment, so what were girls like at that age of Form 2, Form 3? And maybe if Eduni will help me, JS1, JS2, what were girls like at that? That'll probably help me understand what she's going through right now, because sometimes like this girl is too exposed for my liking, not in terms of what she does, but in terms of the volume of information knowledge that they have at their disposal now. So
social media, baby.
What's the normal for a teenager? What would be the normal phase, the kind of things they're going through, considering you have seen girls at that age? Is this question throwing us off? I just want to understand.
It's funny. It's funny you said that, because I have preteen daughters, twins, and they ask me a lot of questions. They're in middle school, 6th grade, which is equivalent for 1, and they ask me a lot of questions about my experience in secondary school, and it's completely different because one went to a military kind of school, which is more structure, order, which they go to public school over here. And I'm always telling them the difference. And one of the things I always tell them is, first of all, as you rightfully said, there's so much information, so there's a lot of distraction, right? A lot of distraction now. And I always tell them that when we were in school back in the day, television started at one time, ended at a certain time. It was not 24 hours. When I was at home, Popsy when we were on holidays, Popsy will give us books to go and read. We have to come and tell him the story 2 weeks later, things like that. There was a lot. My dad was a military officer too, so he was a no-nonsense kind of person. You understand? So, but with them, it's a different dynamic. They don't even watch TV these days. All they watch is their iPad 24/7, and stuff like that. But during school time, we shut it down, you understand, in their mother and stuff, to make sure that they're not always on. And there's more. They also have a sleep time that they have to go at 8 o'clock. But I used to tell them about command. In fact, they enjoyed my stories of command so much that they asked that they wanted to experience it. So when they were younger, a couple of years back, I used to make sure they made their bed in the morning, and I'll come and I actually have videos of it. Well, open the door, attention. And I made them do that for months. They were tired. They're like, we want to stop. Like, no, you asked for it, so you have to do it. Because of that, now they make up their beds, right? I tell them how we used to make up bed, how we used to chores in the morning before that, how we used to do jogging those days and all that kind of thing. So I think it's a different, I think from my perspective, the difference between my age when I was younger was we were not free to communicate our feelings and expression with our parents, right? Because of that generation, right? But I'm more open with them now that they can tell me stuff. I ask them about boys. They're like, no, I don't. It's all white boys in my school. And the other thing I talk to them about all the time about their education, help them with their homework. A lot of times they will even send me homework. I'll be looking at it. I don't even remember this one. I have to Google it. But what is this one? I'll go back and teach them. But I think it's about having open communication with your kids, so they feel comfortable to tell you things all the time instead of restricting them and things. A lot of times my daughters want to show me something on YouTube that does what's my opinion? Oh, look at the amount of I don't care about that. But the thing I do is I drop everything to pay attention to them, so that they always come to me if they have any questions than going outside just because you have all this kind. Even the social media pages, they have TikTok. Because of them, I joined TikTok so I can see what they are doing and things like that. So you have to be an engaged parent with them, so that when they have questions, they always come to you first, which is one of the things my daughters and we always engage. So I think that's about it. Compared to say when we were younger, knowing our age, we had no information. We didn't have that kind of information. We were all scared of our parents. We did not communicate with our parents back then and stuff like that. So it's a different, and we went to military schools too, where there was so much structure. I was scared when people always think, did they suspend me? Never. I wasn't scared of commandant. I was scared of Colonel Taiwo. I can run around Comlag from RSM, which I did a few times. But why am I doing that to my popsi's house? Get suspended for anything because I was scared of my dad, really, than being suspended to go home. What kind of explanation am I going to tell him?
Exactly.
You know, and things. So it's a different time. It's been over 30 something years and stuff like that. So even when I laugh,
maybe Ifedunni would give us a woman's perspective. At that age, what were girls like? You know, what were the things I used to go through? I know the kind of feelings I had then, crushes on one or two boys, but nothing actionable. You know, what were your feelings at that time compared to how our kids are now? What feelings were normal? Can I say, this one I need to pay attention, or this is normal, I shouldn't worry?
Let me chime into that.
Ifedunni.
Let me chime in because I have a 15-year-old daughter, so her name is Shadi too. And I grew up with 5 sisters.
Wow.
So yeah, so I've seen just women at different ages. The puberty, you know, the exposure is what's different. You're in a different culture. You're in London. You're in Nigeria. 2, then the age of artificial intelligence, where information comes to you. These kids have never seen a phone book before. They don't carry Bible around. Everything's app. So everything comes to them so fast. If you're not in tune, you will miss it as a parent. So what we lacked back in the days, most of us dealt with our parents out of fear, not out of, there's a lot of fear. So we couldn't even tell our parents how we feel.
Exactly.
And that's why those girls, some of them brought that to school and became a little bit wayward because they had an outlet to talk to boys. But they couldn't talk at home to their dad. They couldn't talk to their brothers. There was this barrier. They said, no, you don't feel like that. You don't think like that. You should not be thinking of men. No, you're going to think of men. It's natural to think of boys.
Okay.
Even if you're gay, you're thinking of something else. Okay. It's natural. So what we've done is to make them believe that it's not natural. You're too young for that. That's the disconnect. So you should be having adult conversation with your girls. Whether you like it or not, because they're already exposed to it. They are. Trust me, there's nothing those girls think they don't know about. They do. So we have to take off, especially in the Western world, we have to remove this Nigerian mentality, parenthood, and get to their level because it's just a different world. Even in Nigeria, my boys in Nigeria are raising girls. They're telling me it's the whole different format. You just don't be beating girls. And when we're growing up, we grew up in command, getting beat up. These kids they're not going through that. So there's a lot of fear. These kids, they don't have fear in them.
At all.
They're a different world. We lived in fear. What? Baba, my girlfriend. Hey, you're having girlfriend. You're having boyfriend. I will kill you in this house. If you touch boy, you get pregnant. If you kiss boy, you get pregnant. All that fear. These kids don't buy because they know better. They're more informed.
Yeah, social media has really educated them. That's true. We had fear in living, even when we're in school, in boarding house, in command. Then we had fear at home and from your parents and stuff. So you don't express yourself. But the kids of this new generation, they express themselves clearly, you know, and you have to listen. Otherwise, they will go out and start expressing themselves on social media, which is, excuse me, one of the things I detest, really, just talking unnecessarily. But yeah, pretty much you have to be careful about that. So it's more paying attention and as Ife said rightly, engaging her like an adult so she feels comfortable to come talking to you.
Yeah. If I didn't hear, you know, how you felt back then in school and compared to now.
I don't know. Yeah, you've said so many things, so I'm going to take my time to express my one. And that I'll start from bullying. I was really bullied. I must tell you, I was really bullied. And I remember a day also that one of the seniors bullied me. She actually told me to pick me. And after I realized I was taking too long, I said, I faked fainting. So he said, you fainted. You will faint and wake up. You will continue. Don't worry. If you like, faint for 3 hours. I was there, faking faint. And my friend came and I said, hey, if I stand up, oh, she will release you. Just stand up and complete this punishment.
Wow.
So later, I stood up and like staggered and like said, you fainted, Abby. Don't worry. When you wake up very well, you will continue the punishment. And then if you remember Madam Wilson, Madam Wilson was our house mistress, so I ran to the staff quarters and told Mrs. Aburo, Madam Wilson. Mrs. Aburo was the house mistress for Flying House. So Madam Wilson was for Dragons. I went to her and said, Madam, and explained myself to her. So she made this lady wash the toilets in the staff room. And when she came back, oh my days, all the other seniors conspired against me. So one of them told me to wash her gown. So after I washed the gown, she said I should spread it. So around 4 o'clock, 5, so I should get the gown back, Dragon House houseware. So bringing it back, I just realized something was moving in the gown. I didn't know what it was really. Anyway, I just put up the courage and dropped the stuff on her bed. So where's my dad? It's on your bed. Okay. Unfortunately, it was a lizard. I didn't know. Sincerely, I didn't know there was a lizard. I packed the lizard with the gown. So I put the lizard now went under her pillow. And unfortunately, she now went laid in bed and put her head on her pillow. Oh dear, the lizard came up and actually kissed her cheek. She finished me that evening. Because once she felt it was deliberate, that was deliberate that I put the lizard in her cloth. Then two, that she shot,
You have a lot of
bad
experience.
And yes, and a shout out to Tony Odamo. Tolani Odamo. A shout out to Tolani Odamo. She saved my life that day. I know what she was my school mother. She was Dragon House captain. So she came and bailed me out of the trouble. So it was fun each time. But then taking back to space, I don't even know what space means. I never experienced it. But one thing I know I did then was I was among the bullied girls that went out and came in late. When you sneak out of the hostel, the runs they used to do beside the dining hall, they will know, we'll wait for you now after prep. We'll wait, we'll be at the door waiting. So when they came in, we're like the parents. We'll not come back to them. What did you go and do? You went to mess up yourself. That is so wrong. You went, it was tug of war. So I believe at that time we're able to achieve some souls because some of them, the way we talk to them, they have to really repent and have to forsake those bad ways, I must tell you. So coming back to the teenagers, we have this. I have a 16-year-old girl. She's clocking 17 next month. So one thing I believe is that number one, you have to be a friend with that daughter, right? You have to be very close to her. You must be her best friend. Understand her feelings. And when something is wrong, those days we had, even our teachers, when you do something wrong today, by 1 week, they still remind you that you did something wrong. Remember, last week in here, for these teenagers, they don't want that. Don't always refer to their flaws, okay? And when anything is wrong, you see things together. Try to reason out with them. And like the co-host said, try to reason with them. Try to make them understand that you understand what they're going through. Yeah. But then, discipline is key, I must tell you. Discipline is key in whatever country you think you are. When I was in the UK, there were some homes I visited that I sometimes feel disgusted. That I'm sorry, these are Nigerians like me, and you're like, Mom, what? Come on, man, I'm not going to do that. Like, get a job. In your life, you will live to remember the story. And you won't even dare it, But then also you get to some homes that are like, Mom, please, I just need to tell my friend, Mom, please, something like that. And I think that's courtesy, that's culture. So in everything we're doing, even as we imagine the teenagers, we should still try to instill discipline. However, with love.
Absolutely.
Instill discipline with love, yes. So and that is what I can also take away from command. Command to a very good extent taught me how to be very self-reliant.
Absolutely.
I'm very cultured because I saw by experiences people had. So I learned to behave myself. And then when you went to, when we go to class in the morning, the first thing you see on the wall or the blackboard, they will draw another time then.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mm.
yes, I
yeah,
At the
remember.
yeah.
back. And we used to
Mm.
specialize in having our bath on the corridor.
Yes.
That's where girls, that's where we have our bath. And Tiger House, the way it's placed, especially that corridor and the back, is that boys had straight view, just
Yes,
best
from the
eye
boys'
view.
hostel.
Yeah, and they used to go and stay there. And
Mm.
you just make sure that if you want to have your bath, do it before 6 a.m. or do it after 7. If they're looking at your silhouette, let them be looking at. Maybe they won't know it's you, but they'll be seeing everything they want to see, but they may not see your face clearly. Because we didn't like to go to our Tiger House used to win best cleanest house awards.
Mhm.
So we wanted to maintain that. If you remember,
Mm-hmm.
Tiger House used to win consistently. So
Oh,
sometimes
please.
they lock the
In fact, it's
bathroom.
true now. Even boys' dorm is the same thing. We used to win.
They lock the
I
bathroom. We
beg.
used to have our bath on the corridor. You just go outside to your window like
You
this,
guys were just
and
proving
boys
to
will
be true Nigerians.
just line up there and be looking. In fact, we got tired. We looked
For
for
real?
Those must have been our seniors. I don't remember doing that one.
Ife, do you remember? Ife that
No, Mike. I told you I was a shumi. I couldn't do anything with women. I was a slacker, complete 100% slacker. Trust me. I don't even sabi say do that kind of thing. Sef.
I know guys try to sneak to
how are
girls'
your
dorm, but I
skills
didn't do
now?
that one.
Eh?
They
You
did
said
it
what?
though.
Two of you now have skills now.
No, we are good boys.
No,
though.
we
We are daddies.
we go. No, we take that. Tolu, we take that offline.
Tolu, we are
Take
fathers
it
right
as a
now.
compliment.
Tolu,
Take it
we
as
are
a
fathers
compliment.
right now. We have to be
Emma Tonrang.
fantastic
Take it as
examples to our
compliment.
daughters.
We're a different skill set now, Tolu. So
It's a
let's still leave
required
that.
skill now. It's a competence.
Wait
Oh
now,
yeah,
let me
we're
share
different.
an
We're different.
let me
Let your
let
sister
me share
talk.
an
Ife.
experience. Yeah, let
Uh-huh.
me share an experience. Well, we didn't do JS3. Guys, please stand corrected. I think we went as far as 4 from 4. We were the first set that did this JS thing. They were
Yeah.
the first,
Yeah.
yes. So I think we went as far as from 5, then they made us do another one. We were to finish in 1990. They extended us to 1991, if you remember.
Right.
Yeah.
We're the
So
first set of SS3. Yeah.
yes,
All
yeah, we're
right.
the first. So they now took us, at the time when we were in school, everyone had gone on vacation. So we're the only ones in school then. And they had this free exit, free entry to boys' hostel, girls' hostel, right? And so boys would come to our hostels anyhow, and girls would do same. So there's this friend of mine, not cross seriously, cross my heart, no cross. But it was just a friend where it was just a friend of mine. So my friend now told me that he was not feeling fine. I said, not feeling fine. Okay, since thank God we turned our hostels to perfect market, free entry, free exit. Let me check on him. Oh dear. So I went there that night, and seriously, getting in, I'm like, oh, where are you? I just saw the guy in bed and he's covered up. So, oh, now trying to move close. Before God and man, they switched off the lights. And before I did, the guy was close. I said, in your life, you won't dance. I beat him to the floor. And that was what caused a serious fight between us, seriously. I didn't see the guy again. Till that we kept malice till we finished our. So and it's a good point. He wrote so many poems to me, apologizing, saying all of that. And he had a girlfriend. So it was not like his girlfriend, I was no crush, but we had this brotherly, sisterly friendship. But I didn't know he had something else. Or maybe guys just pushed him like this, so he first
So some people were stationed by the light to put it
by
off.
the light, seriously. And I
Let me tell you, boys are bad though.
They pushed them all to. Then they were all in Flying House house. It was the ground floor, so they pushed off the lights. I'm like, oh dear. So after we had that, I slapped him, beat him. I made somebody switch on the lights immediately. When they saw there was a fight, they put on the lights.
You really, really had a robust experience.
Robust. So I beat him to the floor, and then he started apologizing and all of that, But the next time I had an opportunity that I would have seen him was when I was at the university. He came around to Great Ife. Yes, Great Ife. He came around to Great Ife, and he got to know that I was there. So, and I lived off campus. So ordinarily, I just saw his note at my door when I came back from class. I'm like, what? This guy? Seriously? And it's unfortunate. Since then, even till now, I've not seen him. So it's one of an experience I had. For boys. for boys. No, no, no. But command was a good place to be. It taught me a
It
lot of
was.
things.
It was.
And I've also learned, or I learned in command to adapt by any situation.
Absolutely.
To adapt by any situation. So, and I learned to tolerate a lot of people. Some people would be there. You have different kinds of human beings. So, if you went to command and you survived, obviously you can survive anywhere. You can survive anywhere.
This was very funny. So I'm in the big Daniel. I was in my form 5.
You'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Yeah, wait, just chill. This one is the master
wait.
of the gist. Is the master of all gist. This is the master of all gist. So
Okay.
so I'm in the dining hall and I'm having this math lesson. I was the tutor then, teaching all these from 5 girls. They were surrounding me in the dining hall, like 5 or 6 of them. And while we were studying, we were yelling, "Boga, boa, boa, boa." What? They were like, Ife, that is your sister fighting.
Wait, so you always beating guys up and down your place?
Yes, she was fighting. Oh my God!
You are better not put it on.
Oh my God!
91 cent boys have suffered.
Hi.
They've suffered though.
Yeah, the ones that cross their line.
Let me tell you, man. Those guys were like, if hey, that's your sister. She's beating boys up again.
And I actually covered that boy's head with a pot of soup.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait. Were they trying to raid you or in dining hall?
I don't know what happened.
I've been on this chubby side, and they're so fond of Ife Popo, Ife Mamsa, Ife Subsidy. They always give me different kinds of names. And each time they see me, they want to just come and I'm like, guys, leave me now, leave me. But they never listen. So I don't know, maybe it was this boy is a very short boy. Those short guys. Those feel like, boy, this, that. They just came down there and, my God, leave me alone now. Leave me alone. I didn't behave himself. I just tapped his head and I covered his head with a pot of soup. Simple. And I left him and I went my way. So with that, I was able to revive and save my soul. Because it's not easy, growing in that command, Dikmaja. And those boys, you just said you should not mention it. Those boys were...
I don't think I ever fought a
But
girl in command.
I'm really happy to hear that you held your own and that anybody that crossed their lane, that's
No.
Hey, Fedudi. Hey.
Very good.
I also remember there was a time
because Todo was even impressed. Like he was proud of you that you held your ground. And sometimes girls have to hold their grounds like that.
In fact, even now, even now as adults, especially in the workplace, if where you have a lot of men and as a woman, you need to still, so that you have a lot of value to bring as well. So the strength and the boldness to be able to express your own opinions and pass your own messages across as well. Sometimes we women have to fight a little harder. Yeah, so I really admire that. And once they know that, they'll respect you.
They won't mess with you. That's right. Yep. Good.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we need to wrap this up. So just want to thank both Ife, Dune, and Tolua very much for participating in this second session and giving us these funny stories about your experiences in command and also how it has helped you evolve, being principled, discipline, and the knowledge over the years. We had very good teachers. We had also the regimental folks like the RSM and all the soldiers, the nursing system, and commandant. So we reminisce about that, and that's why, as Fodi said in the first one, if we don't talk about our foundation, how it's how it actually evolved us to where we are today, and it's also allowed that camaraderie that we've built over the years and the honor that we went to that school. So, and especially even my set, 89 sets, which Tolu and I are part of, it's always so engaging that, you know, even today I have almost 3,000 messages on there. I don't know what they're chatting about. I've not been on that chat for like 2 or 3 weeks. They're always chatting on one thing or the other. So, you know, once in a while, chat people, you know, on the back end and stuff. Like Tolu and I are always chatting back and forth, yabbing each other and, you know, keeping up and some other people. So it's always good to keep that camaraderie. And also not just only Baja, with other commands. I have a lot of friends in other command secondary schools, NMS, Air Force Military School. And my brothers actually went to Air Force secondary school too. So it's always fun exchanging these ideas. Ife, do you have anything to say?
So Tolu, thanks for the late acceptance to our invite. We really appreciate your contribution here. If I don't, thank you a lot. I know you guys have your mothers. You have a lot going on with your kids, with your own personal lives. We appreciate your time. Please, again, the video should be coming out on YouTube in a couple of days, in a few days. Please spread the word. Subscribe. You know, like this. Let commandos know across Nigeria what we're doing. It's all fun. All right. Thanks again. See you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was lovely having you guys here.
Absolutely. It's nice talking to you. Oh, sorry. Go on, please.
Yes, and to make me reflect on my secondary school days. Wow, lovely experiences. So, guys, well done and keep up the good work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
And
you
one
see,
last
it wasn't that bad.
Oh, no. One last word. I want to thank you guys for this initiative and especially for recording it. One thing I like to see coming more from Africa is a documentation or a recording of our experiences. This is the reason why I say this. When I'm an audio visual learner, and when I want to learn anything that has to do with books or whatever, I go to YouTube and you find a lot of Indians are the one pushing information. It's high time that Africa as well develops, you know, the likeness, our affinity for documenting things. You know, sometimes we read about something that happened in 1963, 1965, and we're like, wow, we don't know. You know, we're losing history. I'm really happy that we're documenting our experiences, you know. I really like it, and I look forward to being a part of future episodes.
Well, you should buy this book. It's a history book on Nigeria from before. I actually bought it in Nigeria at the airport. Yeah, it's a fantastic book.
Wow.
Yeah, the author lives in the UK. I saw him on Channels TV one day. And when I went to Nigeria, I ordered it and stuff. It's a fantastic book. I've not finished. By Dele Ogun, Fatherless People by Dele Ogun. Fantastic history on Nigeria. So yeah, if you want to, you can order that book actually on Amazon.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.